Zouk has evolved and continues to evolve very quickly, partly thanks to the advent of the internet and the quick exchange of global information. Paraphrasing dance historian Forrest Outman, this quick exchange of information allows for more fusion and blending of styles, which is a vital part of any dance evolution. 40 years ago, the only way to see and learn how people dance in other parts of the world was to travel there. Today, it only takes YouTube, typing a few words, followed by a few clicks, and we are there. In part 1 of this video series, we talked about how many Afro-Caribbean rhythms blended together to create Zouk music. Early Zouk dancers in the French Antilles used a combination of several Caribbean dance styles that morphed into contemporary Zouk. This popular YouTube video by renowned Zouk singer Per Lama shows the basic steps of Zouk as it is danced in the islands. The couple is in close position, with the leads holding the follows by their waist with their left arms and holding hands. They take 2 steps forward and 2 steps back, a little bit like walking, but with a marked sway of the hips. The dancers stay connected throughout the entire dance, staying in one spot for the most part. Turns and other combinations are barely used. Some dance instructors describe this type of Zouk as fluid and sensual. We have to keep in mind that in the beginning, Zouk music was fast. Therefore, dancers moved quickly. Some researchers call this type of Zouk music Zouk concrète, meaning solid or traditional, so to say. In 1984, Zouk singer Patrick Saint-Éloi began recording slower songs that spoke mostly about intense feelings of affection and passion. This was the beginning of Zouk love, a music style that has the same characteristics of Zouk concrète but is slower in tempo, with lyrics about love and passion. Zouk love became very popular with dancers, as it allowed them to move slower and therefore dance a little longer. By the 1990s, Zouk music had a well-established presence in the world, and artists began to mix it with other genres to create different styles. According to writer David Garnier-Albert, one of the first fusions to appear in the Zouk scene was Raga Zouk. Raga, or ragamuffin, is a musical style from Jamaica that mixes rap, reggae, and dancehall, a popular music style created in the 1970s and named so after Jamaican dance halls, where DJs played music for local parties. Then, around the year 2000, Zouk R&B appeared on stage, influenced a lot by American pop music. More recently, the band Bamboula's made its musical debut with a distorted rock guitar sound that music curators have called Zouk metal. This is as far as Zouk music styles is concerned. However, it seems like the great majority of Zouk dancers don't really care what kind of music style they're dancing to as long as they can dance. Possibly because the lines between styles are rather blurred, although there is one area where 2 Zouk dance styles are clearly defined. In part 1, we talked about Brazilian Zouk and how in the early 1990s, lambada dancers embraced Zouk music and began dancing lambada to Zouk. In the Brazilian version, the dancers don't stay in one place. The moves look a lot more circular, and the follow's upper body plays a vital role, particularly the neck and head, which become an extension of any turn that ends in those well-defined hair whips. According to the Brazilian Zouk Dance Council, instructors Renata Pezana and Adilio Porto from Rio de Janeiro are credited with being the first instructors to adapt and teach this new version of Zouk at their dance school. Soon after this, other variations of Brazilian Zouk began emerging in other cities, establishing their own regional style. The Brazilian Zouk Dance Council claims that since Brazilian Zouk evolved from lambada, it is a Brazilian dance. However, other researchers disagree, claiming that it can be called authentic Brazilian because it didn't originate in the country, like samba. Some critics argue that Brazilian dancers merely took an existing dance and modified it to Caribbean music. Others suggest that it should be called lambada Zouk, and in fact, some people do call it that in some areas. Nevertheless, both Brazilian and Caribbean dancers have contributed to Zouk and have made it a beautiful and exciting dance to learn all over the world. Today, Zouk is influencing and fusing with other dances like West Coast Swing, making its mark in the dance world and leaving a strong legacy behind.